Hey! Yaya diamonds, dream chasers, we won't wait. Subscribe today before it's too late. Inspiration flowing just like the breeze. Chase your dreams and feel at ease.
Be good. Be very good.
I don't know about being good. And being very good might be a problem, but that's okay. We have a great show for you today, and I'm going to be very good host and say my name is Yaya Diamond, and you are watching Dream Chasers Radio. Please watch to the end. This interview is courtesy of workbookpress.com. So if you ever wanted to get your book out there, all you have to do is just go ahead and go to workbookpress.com, and they will take great care of you over there. And tell them I sent you. Yeah, I sent you. I want to thank you guys again so much for tuning in. We have a great author, and let me tell you, this book cover just took me back. I am absolutely in love with it. I want to walk on water with the moon out and birds. Now that's me. Don't mind the hair. It's just me. Okay, that's me walking, stealing forbidden dreams. Mr. Alban is here with us today. I want to welcome him to the show. Thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure.
Oh, Mr.
Glad to
Alban.
hear you.
Thank you. Thank you. You know, Mr. Alban, you do have your website. It's edwardalban.com. And I think that's very simple. Thank you so much for giving that to us and letting us know where we can reach you. Um, I have to go back in time, though. I always do this. I always ask this question. How did you know that you had to write this book? And is this your first book, your second, or is it just a series?
It's a second, actually. Well, not counting poetry books. I've written 3 poetry books, a book of
Nice.
short stories, and then the novel. So the novel was second. Um, well, I just had to write it, really, because the character was so fascinating to me. And because she deals with a problem that uh, people don't regard it as a problem, but it is. It's
Mm,
memory. It has to do with sleep. And it is the fact that we don't remember our dreams. We
uh,
sleep basically 8 hours on average per day. And
mm-hmm.
that adds up. In a month, we would have slept 10 days. In
Right.
60 years, we would have slept 20 years, which is a staggering amount of time that you can't remember, that is just sort of gone. And so that's the thing that really compelled her to get into it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, really, she had problems with sleep. She was an insomniac, but
Wow.
it was this other question, this fact that it's such a third of your life basically is unaccounted for. That
It
really
is.
bugged her.
Wow. And we're talking about the character, right? We're talking about the
Yeah,
character
Maria.
in your book, Maria. Wow. You know, me and her got something almost in common. You know,
Oh yeah.
the high school. Come on.
Oh
All
yeah.
right. The high school is
Miami.
like
Yeah.
right there. I was down the block from Miami.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Wow. So, you know, the character, it really bothered her. She had insomnia?
Yeah.
Tell me
Well,
about
I
that.
mean, she was just so much in love with life that she didn't sleep that much. And
Uh,
then she was quite uncomfortable because if you go to work and you have to get up at 7 to be at work at 8, and you've only slept 3 hours,
oh
it
yeah.
takes its toll. And
It
that's
does.
it's just that you- I'm like that myself. Okay, I've always had troubles with sleep, and so but now I'm retired, so I call the shots. So you know, but it's when your work schedule doesn't fit your life. There's
Mhm.
a problem there, and she had that problem. So
Mm.
she had to get up at 11 and go to school at 12. Oh, no problem. She'd be perfectly happy. But that's not the way it works. You have to adapt to the hours that you have to work. And
Right.
so that becomes very difficult. But
Mhm.
it is really the waste of time, really. Well, she was the first to admit that sleep is necessary. If you don't
Mhm.
have it, you'll die. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
there's no question about it. You have to sleep. It's a
Yeah.
necessity. But it seems like we could. It'd be wonderful if we could remember our dreams, but we don't. Who can remember what he dreamed at 3 in the morning? who can remember what he dreamed 3 years ago? So it's whatever you dream, and you may have dream in the middle of the night. It's gone. It's lost, and
Mm,
that's the thing that bothered her. And she wondered. I wondered if I could recoup those dreams. And that
yeah.
became her obsession. And so that's why the novel is called Stealing Forbidden Dreams. She
Mm,
worked at it for about 10 years.
mhm.
And by taking diaries, by writing notes on her dreams day after day for about 10 years, she was actually able to get a picture of what what her dreams, what her life was like. So she recouped what she was trying to get, which
Mm,
was recoup the. She didn't remember each dream every night as such, but she knows what's going on in our minds, how
right.
our dreams interface with our real life, and
Mhm.
that's what's important, and that's what's fascinating. And so, there was a lot about sleep that she thought people would associate with. Oh yeah, that's happened to me, and so they would want to, read about it.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. How did she feel about her sleep being wasted like that? I mean, I mean,
Well, she couldn't
insomnia.
accept it. She couldn't. She
Uh,
she refused to accept that it couldn't be. She. It seems like it's an apparent waste, but
mhm.
she didn't think really deep down it was a waste. There was a purpose for it, and there was something that we don't get about it. And she wanted that was the thing that she wanted to understand. And through the novel, there are many instances in which she actually deals with situations that occurred in real life, but were sort of instigated or compelled by a dream.
Mhm.
And then dreams can be, very, she had problems with a student, for example, and the student was real bad. I mean, and in a dream, she really, what she couldn't do in class, she
Mhm.
did in a dream.
Mm,
And it meant so much to him that her opinion of him, how
mhm.
she that it changed him, and he thought, man, the secret is in education, and so he changed. She
Mm.
changed him, and she wasn't even aware of it, but she changed it in a dream,
Wow. Is that
and
her
that kind of
inner
thing happens.
would that be her inner character or her inner being?
Well, actually, that would be her whole totality because he saw her every day, as a professor. But when he saw her in a dream, in a particular it's a kind of a complicated story because, and I don't know if I have time to go into all
Of
of that.
course.
But
No, you're not supposed to. I don't want you to because then you're gonna be giving away the whole plot and it's gonna
no,
be
no, actually,
not
this
important.
one
Don't
I
do
changed
that.
my mind. Actually, I think okay. He had. I don't know if you saw the movie by Almodovar, a Spanish director, which was
Mm.
"Tie Me Up, Tie Me Down."
Okay.
That story deals with a guy that had a crush on a particular young lady, and he kidnapped her,
Mm.
thinking that he wasn't going to rape her, but he just wanted to keep her because he figured that in time she would change her mind about him, and she would be consenting.
Mhm.
And so that in a movie, if with a good director, you can pull it off. In real life, it doesn't work that way. So, but he dreamed that he
Mm.
dreamed the movie basically, and so in that dream, she turned the things on him. She got control over him, and she really made him realize that that was not the way to do it. To
Wow.
get a woman's affection, and a
Yeah.
woman's respect, and so that's what changed him.
Mm. So what are the inner characters of Maria? What is that inner being? Can you
Oh,
explain that to me a little
oh
bit?
man, it's a composed mostly of young women like her, but they represent one represents her libido,
Oh.
and her libido, her sex power. She
Mhm.
is very upset with Maria because she's 26 years old and she's still a virgin, and she keeps telling her, "We're going to have to work on that."
Mhm.
Anyway, and then there are other characters that are muses, I call them, because they are involved in either literature and mathematics and the things that she's an expert on.
Mhm.
And but there is, like in real life, even in dreams, uh, people start drifting away from each other, and
Yes.
she's drifting away from her mathematics muse. because another muse has come into the picture, and she is a literary, a poet, a
Mhm.
poetess. And so you see that drift. And then
Wow.
there are others that are, well, there's conscience, and conscience is the only one that changes in appearance. Sometimes she's the President Lincoln one time. She's always authoritative. She would be like a priest or like a policeman or like a teacher, somebody. So she takes different forms,
Mhm.
but she's always kind of bad news when she shows up. And especially when she shows up with guilt, who is also another character in the novel that
Wow.
takes different forms. Sometimes he's a Rottweiler. Sometimes he's just a, a bounty hunter, a prosecutor, a tormentor.
Mhm.
And then there are others. There's a professor, and then there's actually a neurologist, a doctor that explains to her the workings of the brain at night.
Mm.
So it gets into the technical stuff, but it's not that technical.
I got you. I got you. You know, this to me seemed like it took you a while to create. What was that like for you to create such an amazing kind of dream state walking through real life kind of novel or book?
Well, I mean, you talk about turn-ons. I don't do drugs, okay? But my equivalent is writing a novel. It will keep you
Okay.
so turned on. I mean, night and day, all you can do is, and you correct it. You write
Mhm.
this, you don't like it, you change it, and so it's very, very well consuming in so many ways. So
Mm.
it's yeah. I now I couldn't live without writing now. I'm
Wow. That is amazing. That is amazing. That's like a musician. We just, a lot of people don't
exactly yes.
a lot of people don't understand us musicians because I'm a musician. I sing. And so,
Oh,
um, they don't understand that if I don't do this, it's like I can't breathe.
yeah, yeah. Well, by the way, I'm also I play the piano.
Oh, so
Working at it. So yeah, I know what
sweet.
you mean. And I
I
love
sing.
music.
I
I
sing.
love all
Oh,
kinds
I
of
do
music.
too. I do too. I sing.
And by
And
the
then,
way, that's another thing that I like the novel because I love music so much, it comes into the novel itself. It so
mm,
happens that Maria loved tangos. And
oh
so
man.
and a lot of the tangos fit into her life. And
Hmm.
that was kind of fun.
Wow. Wow. That's beautiful. You know what I know? I want to know if you say that people can't really remember their dreams, right? So you
Yeah.
wake up in the morning, you really can't remember. How does she do that? How does she write down the dreams? Does she remember her dreams, or she didn't
It's a
remember? How
good
does that work?
question. That's that's complicated, but that's what the novel deals with. But I will tell you just a couple of things.
Uh huh.
Well, the girls were very sympathetic. The girls in her dreams, which are really part of her own soul, of her own psyche.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really sad for them to basically say goodbye when she wakes up.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, we'll die. There was a death every day at dawn.
Mm.
And it was saddening, all the things that we did today, and to think that I will not even remember any of it. So they were very sympathetic, and they found ways to do it to at least just drop little hints. And they did it by actually, all right, we do remember some of our dreams, okay? But what
Mm-hmm.
dreams we remember are so few and they're so short. The only dreams you remember are basically the ones that you wake up with, about
Yeah.
3 4 minutes before you wake up.
Yeah.
So they tried to pack into those 3 or 4 minutes because they were the ones responsible for the making of dreams. And so they figured, okay, we're going to ins- put in those dreams little nuggets,
Mm.
little riddles that over time will throw a big picture.
Got it. Got it. I love that. Absolutely love
Well,
that.
that was one thing they did, but there was another thing. They did communicate with her, not visually and not specifically, not through sounds, but through telepathy. When
Mm.
she would go to write anything, they would be kibitzing. They would be behind her. They would say, no, no, not that word, or change that sentence.
Mm-hmm.
So, in that sense, in a very subliminal way,
Right.
uh, there was the telepathy involved.
I got you. I got you. Y- What about her real life?
Well, her real life was, of course, teaching in a high school, and she was very, very unhappy there because, well, the students were, a lot of them, very unprepared, and it was just really a struggle. But also, she didn't have support from the administration. The the principal was a politician. She wasn't. She was in education just for, I don't know, political reasons.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, it was just she just wanted, that's made her feel like getting out of education altogether, going into
Wow.
something else just because she was so unhappy there.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the her family, by the way, is consisted mostly of her just mother and father, and then there were other relatives that were kind of distant. They didn't get together, although they did have a big party one time, and so it was very happy. But there were little frictions with her mother because there are differences in culture, for one thing.
Mm-hmm.
The mother was from Ecuador, raised and everything there, and she wasn't as educated as Maria was. So
Mm.
there was that difference. But her father was fine. And the biggest difference also that there was between her and her mother was that the mother was a super Catholic and Maria was actually not. She was very irreligious. She was
Mm.
a free, independent thinker.
Right.
And so they clashed.
Well, that happens. It does
No,
happen. So I want to know something. Like this whole thing is great. It's great, dreams, all that. But what about I don't know the guy? Does she get a guy? Does she fall in love? I mean, girls like to have love stories, and I just
well,
want to know. I mean,
that
does
one,
she?
I'm just going to be coy on that because actually
Ah,
that would be relieving.
oh
But
come
suffice it to say,
on.
yeah, yeah, yeah. There is love. There
Okay,
is sex a
okay,
lot in the novel. There is a
okay.
lot of it. And but read about it.
Oh, you gonna do that to me? Okay, never mind. And why did you put the movie in 1999?
Oh man, I was alive in 1999 and 2000, and it is just so much has changed from 2000 on. And it just, I had to, I mean, it, for being my first novel, it had to be of the time, of my time, okay? But of my time, why that particular year? And just the thought about it, that it's the end of a millennium, 1999
Yeah,
it started way back in the year 1000. And
I
Maria
know.
had conversations about that with a friend once. Can you name anybody who was alive in 1000? Anybody who was famous or anything? And they couldn't. And so, it's it's
No.
staggering the amount of how years go by. But
Yeah,
the other Maria said, actually, I wasn't thinking in the past. I was going to the future. And going to the future, can you imagine the year 2999? We'll all be dead, for one thing.
yeah,
And
yeah,
that alone gets you. But the other thing is that you can't be so sure that we'll be around in 2009. We might, but it raises that question. So anyway, the 1999 is just so radioactive. It's
yeah.
just, and I had to write, but I did take care to integrate things. I had to study with a calendar the things that happen and include them into the novel. For example, the massacre in Littleton, Colorado,
Hmm.
it happened on Hitler's birthday, April
Yeah.
20th. That fit into that. Easter fit into that because of her mother and the question of religion and so forth. And
Hmm.
then later, the well, John F. Kennedy, they just made a movie about him and his life
Yeah.
and death. And that happened in July 1999. So that was included too, but
Wow.
not just casually. And then there was another case that this little boy from that was escaping with his mother from Cuba,
Hmm.
and they had he the mother died, and he survived, and he was actually made it to the shores of Florida.
Yeah.
And so that it also happened there, and I remember that was very distinctly. It made a lot. And the Attorney General of the United States, Janet Reno, at the time, who plays, by the way, many times she appears in the novel as conscience. She
Mm.
really had to make a decision whether to let that kid go back to Cuba or to leave him with relatives in Miami.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember
Yeah.
that. That was Elian? I think
Elian Gonzalez, yeah.
Gonzalez.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, he's a congressman or something in Cuba now.
Yeah, he is. Yes, he is. They had to do that because he was very popular and they wanted to capitalize off of his popularity.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I'm praying for Cuba now.
Oh,
Praying
yeah,
for Cuba.
man, they're in such bad shape.
They're very bad shape. My husband is Cuban. We have family.
Oh,
And
really?
yeah. And so it's yeah, we're praying for Cuba. Yeah, definitely. So, but wow. Well, your book is just beautiful. It makes me want to say that's me walking on the water. It just seems so serene. And it doesn't seem like it seems inviting, but also it seems like as if the person in that character doesn't have a care in the world. Like
Yeah.
she's just walking on water, you know?
Yeah, walking on water towards the night. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and I just thought that was beautiful. Really gorgeous, and it does represent what you were trying to do with this book, which is, the dreams and the character and everything. It just says a lot to me.
Mhm. Thank
It
you.
speaks, it
Yes.
speaks. Is there anything that we missed today that you'd like to say?
No, I think we covered everything. I mean, I could talk for hours and hours, but
Well,
I think we hit
unfortunately,
it all.
I think we do. And you really got me on that love thing. I mean, now I just want to go ahead and get the book. I mean,
Oh, yeah,
literally.
by all means. Yeah, I hope you do.
Well, thank you so much for being on the show. That website is edwardalban.com. And we're going to have also that in the description box so you can copy and paste that into your browser. Press enter. It'll be easy for you guys to find it. Again, this interview was courtesy of workbookpress.com. And I want to thank Edward. Thank you so much for being on the show.
My pleasure. Thank you. So nice talking to you,
Oh, and
Yaya.
you too. And you too. And thank you guys so much for tuning in. And don't forget to dare to be different. But most of all, if you have a book inside of you, please go ahead and just get it out. Okay. Write it. Just write it. Okay. It'll make you feel good, make you feel better, accomplished. And then it'll make you feel like as if you're a junkie because you got to write another one. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching.